I always say Jerry Ryan in my head, but he's not Jerry Ryan. He's on TNA now, though. Fuck, what's his name?
Joey Ryan?
Joey Ryan. I love that guy, and I'm so glad he's on TNA.
By the way, I'd like to point out that I grabbed this, particularly because it was pink. I didn't look at what flavor it was. I went, ooh, pink, and I bought it.
And what flavor is it?
Pink lemonade, so it's all right.
Oh, okay.
There was no interesting point to that story whatsoever then.
Really quiet.
It's because you guys aren't making love up on that microphone.
Making love up on that microphone.
Who, baby?
Making love up on that microphone.
Baby girl.
I can smell your breath.
It sounded like it fit in like the back of that song. Like, I can smell your breath. Baby, I love you. Come on, go down on me now. You're the only one.
Don't kiss me afterwards. I can smell your breath.
Smell your breath.
Dick breath. That's the song, Dick
Baby,
breath.
go brush your teeth. I can smell your breath.
Hit romantic song, I Can Smell Your Breath by The Great Amalgamation.
So this is the Great Amalgamation.
Throw that.
So this is TGA podcast number 8.
Because 8 comes after AJ's penis, so yes.
This is 8, yes. We
Yeah.
skipped a week so we could go see Cloud Atlas.
Yes. So nice segue.
So we went and watched Cloud Atlas.
It wasn't a segue. It was just what happened. So would we want to talk about the movie first, or do we want to talk about the events around the movie?
Let's talk about the movie first.
Yes, I
and then
agree.
Explain.
Okay.
So first off, let's just start out with who liked the movie.
I did.
I also did.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like
I
it.
fucking love that movie.
Okay, there we go.
The Bruce is like, someone's got to be the third. Like, someone's always got to have the other side, so I'll
Right,
take
devil's
it.
Well, there's
advocate.
also there's always Krista, who also liked the movie, but
Didn't like watching it at midnight.
yeah, she's a mom, so the fact that we went to go see it at 10:40 and it was over at like
2:30.
2:30 or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was so at the end there. I couldn't even enjoy it because she just kept leaning over and she's like, "This is the movie that never ends," and I was like, "Then you better just shut up and keep watching it."
So then, naturally, when it ends, I lean over to Derrick, like, dude, you guys want to stay and listen to the song through the credits? Because it's kind of like a big part of the movie, just specifically to see Krista explode.
And I was
I actually did want to listen to the Cloud Atlas after that whole movie.
yeah, and I wanted to listen to it too because I did like the song and I always like to stay after the credits.
Well, let's explain what the song is. So Cloud
Yeah.
Atlas is it was named after a piece of music that one of the characters made. The
Cloud Atlas X10.
yeah, but
It also had like other like
I was
like
trying to
roles
think-
throughout the movie too. Like they hinted to it and they had it at points. So
well, yeah, I mean that's where it came from. But it was played in the Neo Soul Cafe.
yeah,
Halle Berry's character.
it was one of the ways they tied kind of the whole thing together. Yeah.
Well, if you looked at the story actually was completely linear. Guy went on an expedition to that beach, ended up getting poisoned by Tom Hanks. Happens to everybody once.
You
in
should,
their life.
before you continue, give a kind of overview of what the movie is about ish.
I thought that's what I was doing.
Not really.
Well, no, you were about to go in and continue with
Okay,
that.
that's probably a little too detailed, I guess.
Yeah, well, no, we can do that, and I do want to do that. But basically, you take all these characters, or a lot of actors, and they went through different life cycles, but in every life cycle, they were all connected to each other, or at least to a certain person or a certain couple of people. So even though when you're watching the movie, like, there's Tom Hanks, and he's...
Some Irish dude,
Yeah, and then there's Tom Hanks, and he's...
some Irish biker gang dude.
Yeah, and then what was the other one? There was the goat herder. There was
True,
awesome
true.
mafia guy. When that was like my favorite part of the movie.
Who was Irish?
Oh yeah, he was Irish. Okay. Yeah,
Apparently-
that's my favorite part of the movie.
Irish
is him
and
just
the
throwing him
Asians.
off.
Yeah, that was quite popular.
That was awesome.
That was the funniest part of the trailer too, because you see that part of the trailer, and then it shows him aiming a gun and shooting. And you're like, did he just chuck him off a roof and shoot him? That's a little overkill.
He just wanted to make sure it got did.
But yeah, I mean, it's a very long story. How long was the movie total?
Like 400 to like 4,000 years.
Yeah, 4,000 years long.
He's talking about the movie.
They didn't really
not
tell
the-
that. They didn't really tell the timeline of the last part
Not the
though. so-
timeline. He's talking about like how long the movie lasted.
I know.
I think it lasted a little over 3 hours.
Okay.
We probably should have figured it out, but
Well, what 10:40 to like 1ish. So it's probably. I don't know if it was quite.
It was like 2:30.
Maybe.
Are we talking about when we got in the car you looked? Because, well, we'll tell that story, but we were
Yeah.
at the movie theater for a little bit longer afterwards.
Anyways, actually, I ended up getting home at like 4 from all this.
Did you actually go back?
Yeah.
No, that would have been way later than 4. There's. Oh well.
I want to hear that story because I don't even know how you got your car back.
I own 2 cars.
Did they call you like right afterwards?
No. Okay.
I
So
want to hear the story, but we'll continue it for the movie first.
that's hinting at a story that's to come. It's coming soon.
Pancakes are involved.
Delicious pancakes.
We wouldn't know that now, would we?
By the way, no. And so, okay, Cloud Atlas, the movie Cloud Atlas. So it starts off in the linear way with Tom Hanks's Irish guy with the hair that comes up right here, and
A sideburn,
well, it was more than a sideburn because it came all the way down to
like a mutton chop.
yeah, mutton chop. Thank you, Jordan. Mutton
Yes.
chop. So there
You know
was
my
Tom.
facial hair.
Well, we've been power making and
Yeah.
putting facial hair on
we know facial hair. Wrestling fans have to know that.
Okay.
We're going to get into power making also.
We power make a lot of people.
We got stories today, man.
So Cloud
we can't
Atlas.
even get through Cloud Atlas.
Anyway, my impression of Cloud Atlas, I really liked it. It tells a lot of stories that are, in a way, the same story, but they have different feels, and that they're really different people with different kind of like a scale of what they're doing. Like there's situations where they're kind of doing like one seemingly small task, and there's situations where there's like battles with laser guns and stuff. So it really it's the same story told in a lot of different ways, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a story about survival. Every single one is a story about survival in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Which was really awesome.
And in a lot of ways, like a kind of survival and like freedom in a way too, like trying to maintain your freedom and your personal freedom.
And how you treat people. But of the 6-ish stories, what was your favorite storyline?
That's difficult for me.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. I was just kind of
Honestly, I think I liked. I can't even think about like the characters that were in the story. I can't think of like their names, but it was the slavery one with the boat, where
Okay, so the very first part.
yeah,
technically.
but yeah, like because they chop it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, timeline wise, the very first part.
But yeah, that whole thing I really enjoyed. Mainly, it might have been just because the actor, I can't think of his name, but he played in Across the Universe, and he did a lot of things, and he was also Asian guy from the laser shooter story.
yeah,
Neo Soul, yeah.
Yeah, in Neo Soul.
future space laser
And I
story.
do want to point that out, that those two characters were together in the beginning, like that very first story that I liked the most, and in that story that wasn't the latest like futuristic story, because
But
technically
you don't realize that.
no, at first, yeah, it does. It's
They
not a
hide
big
that
thing.
from you. Yeah,
At first, you really think that Neo Soul, yeah, that's obviously as far in the future
because
as
they've
we're
got
going.
lasers.
Yeah.
They got lasers. They got
And I
hard
like
light
that.
bridges.
Yeah,
I like
and
that
then
too,
but
that they brought it back, like almost circular. Like even though time, and then did they explain? how
they
long
don't
the
tell
future-
how long the last one is. I think for that reason, they want you to figure it out on your own.
Yeah,
Well, I don't even think they want you to figure it out. They want it to be completely, unknowable.
Well, they tell you at a point because she's the chick's looking for stuff from that one, so they kind
yeah,
of explain.
and
They do explain
she's
it.
got a lot of weird shit that you wouldn't have found back where we thought we were
you
at.
can guesstimate.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but I think that was their reasoning. Is they have like super obvious future, and then they have not really known. It almost looks like the earliest of all of them, and then you realize that it's just it actually comes later than all the other
And
ones.
see
the
that too.
furthest.
That I loved. I see now that we're talking about that. Now I love that one the most.
Especially because all of our favorite, or me and Derrick at least favorite character, I think yours too, Bruce, was in that scene. The devil figure that it's
Oh my God, I love
right
him
up in his
so
face, but
much.
not actually there, just telling him things and just creepy.
That guy's characters in every single storyline generally either made me laugh a shit ton.
I know which one you're talking about.
was the nanny.
He was the nanny.
The old folks nanny, nurse folks or something. But
Knox or something, yeah.
yeah, Nurse Knox. So
Related to Mike Knox in any way, maybe.
probably cousins.
Mike Knox has a beard on his penis.
We call
Or a
it.
beard in his penis. I'm sorry.
How did he eat that?
No, he's got a lot of beard in it. A shout out to Shining Lizardo.
Okay. I'll assume that I'll never get that reference unless I take the time
to Google it.
But I actually pointed something out to myself the other day. If you ask a question on Twitter or Facebook or Tumblr or any social media site, you're essentially saying, this information is important to me, but not important enough for me to actually take the time to type what I just said into fucking Google and get the answer my damn self.
I want someone to Google this for me real fast.
I always have. I'm part of Yahoo Answers, and my answer is always the same damn thing. Use fucking Google. That's literally all I type in.
I work in IT. It's my job to Google for people. So people like you make me sick, Bruce. There's a website.
Take your germ.
No, there's a website I absolutely love, and I wish I could use it more often. It's called Let Me Google That For You. If you go to that website, it essentially takes you to Google. You Google something, and then you send the link of you Googling that to someone, and it just leaves them at the Google page. So they get a link, you click on it, and it just says, "Let me Google that for you," and it types in whatever you said, whatever they said, and then it Googles it. It shows the mouse click and everything. It's my favorite website.
That's beautiful.
It's a great way to insult people's intelligence when they're like, "Hey, how do you do this?" Hold on, let me Google that for you. How do I do this? Click.
Back
to Cloud Atlas.
Yeah, back to Cloud Atlas. My favorite one was either the songwriter or the Escape from the Old Folk Song.
My favorite one was the songwriter as well, and I think it's just because I am a musician, so that part I really liked, and I
love how
attached
he
that.
faked the guy out. Where he started off, he's like, was it this? And he plays like a shitty version.
It wasn't even shitty. He played exactly what the guy told him to play. The guy's like, well, because to explain it a little bit, this guy goes in and he's like, he's gonna work with this great composer, and he basically like. In that time, it didn't work like you write your song. It's a big old-timey thing where, like, he has a person who actually plays it on the piano while he writes it and tells it. But he goes in, and this old guy gives him, like, the shittiest humming, like, description of what he wants. And doesn't give him, and doesn't give him any explanation. So the guy's, like, just trying to write it down, and then he starts yelling some really complicated music talk, like, no, obviously I wanted this. And the guy's like, okay, got a really like dumbstruck look on his face and just kind of plays it on piano, and the guy's like, that's terrible, and just like throws him out.
Were
and
you not even listening to what I was saying?
But then the part Bruce like, yeah, as he's leaving, the guy just starts playing like what he did, only like 10 times better, like beautifully on the piano.
Oh, I guess I might as well throw in my other hand and have it scaling up to this while having an overture in the background.
So he plays an awesome piece, and then the guy basically just like, yeah, that's what I thought, because it sounds awesome. So he just takes credit for it and continues to do that basically throughout the whole thing.
But yeah, I really loved that.
I did too.
I don't have a favorite. Like every time
I loved all of them.
Every time
Yeah.
I think about all of them, I can pick out pieces that made that my favorite, and they were all my favorite.
Like the language of the future.
True. I loved it. That's the true.
Happy.
Because they had like the most like almost like they went with like the most what you would consider like down intelligence type speak for that thing, and that's why at first you don't think that's the furthest out future. But you find out that kind of, like everything's gone back again. But yeah, they have like a really, really just basically ignorant drawl they tried to give everybody.
And
that's the true.
Yeah, I love the fact that Halle Berry's character comes in not speaking like that, but she picks up how to talk stupid.
I don't know if it's that. I think it's that, like, essentially she learned a second language, just that language is her language, but a lot more broken. Like, I think that was the way that's the way I looked at it. Like, her people were sophisticated enough to like learn other languages. That's just the other language that's there.
The only other language was the true.
Yeah, they were speaking the true.
Well, let's go down what the storylines in Cloud Atlas are then, and just list them off. So there's the guy on the boat who's getting sicker and sicker as the story progresses, and Tom Hanks is the doctor
trying to help him. Yep.
Yep.
And then he's got a stowaway.
Yeah, and then they reveal that there's there was a stowaway, because that storyline starts with him visiting a plantation.
Yeah.
Which looked like it was in Africa or something.
It was his father-in-law's plantation, I think, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. He went to the plantation to get paper signed for his father-in-law.
Like a land deed or something like that,
Mhm.
wasn't
Right,
it? Yeah.
yeah.
And then while he was there, he witnessed one of the slaves getting whipped and actually passed out either from the heat or the sight. Probably a combination of both.
No, yeah.
Because you could tell that seeing it disturbed him, and you could tell that he was also sweltering. And I think when the two came together, He just couldn't take it anymore
Yeah.
and passed out.
And then that one built off of that whole thing with the stowaway and everything, and that was a good story. That I definitely
Yeah,
enjoyed
and
that
I
one as
think
well.
the stowaway is the reason. Like, other than the actor that kind of made it, and I always liked him, I liked the stowaway also because I liked his story.
And the relationship between the two. Like,
Yeah,
I think yeah.
and when he did his whole tryout for to be a crew, for his freedom,
yeah.
and to be a crew member on
That was
that,
cool.
it was just so, like, he was a badass right there.
Well, and like the actor, I think, did a really good job of just portraying the passion in that situation you would have to have. Like, that was one thing I noticed is like it really, like, that was just well played on his
Well,
part.
he was essentially running a sale for his life.
Yeah, no, that's what it was too. It was a situation where like his, not just his freedom, his life was on the line, and it was something like, yeah, it just
was,
but it
a
really was.
mundane task that he had to do really, really well.
I just thought that like the emotion there was really like realistic and portrayed well in that scene. Yeah.
And so, while the guy is slowly getting sicker and sicker, he's writing a journal, and that ends up becoming a book.
Yeah, which is referenced in another one of the stories.
Which then the next chronological story is the composer.
Oh yeah, it is. You're right.
The composer who draws inspiration originally while he's writing to his lover,
Because he found these.
because he read the book, but the last few
Yeah.
pages weren't there. Remember? And so he's writing to his lover about meeting the composer, which we already went into that story.
Yeah.
And once again, it's really hard. You're right. It's really hard to pick favorites because Cloud Atlas really is a good movie.
It's a lot of good movies.
Yeah. It essentially could have been like a series.
Yeah, and I liked the actor in there because I liked the narrative part of that story, how he was, talking and narrating.
Which one are we going on now?
The composer.
The composer
Because
one.
while he was composing, he was, kind of narrating those letters that he was writing
To his lover.
as the rest of the scenes were happening.
And then the next chronological story then would be the one. It's got his lover in it again, just older. And
Yeah,
so
with,
these share
with
it.
Halle Berry's character.
They share the person that he was writing to in the other story.
Yeah, that was one of the few stories where they had a character crossover.
Yep.
In fact, I think that might have been the only story where a character crossed over because the other ones are.
Well, physically crossed.
Yeah,
physically
a character
talk
actually
about
alive in the scene.
The latest two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously every single character crosses over.
Or is referenced, or is, yeah.
So it's Halle Berry is a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to find evidence of why somebody's trying to cover up something for this nuclear reactor
And it starts out vague and becomes more detailed as time goes on.
The personal freedom arc of this one is sort of a woman's rights things where that guy is treating her like the dumbest piece of shit ever, and she's like, I thought the bathroom was in there, or that's what Tom Hanks's character plays off, and the guy actually believed that as an excuse.
Well, there's kind of that, but I think that I don't know if that's as much in that story as like the ode to the freedom is more that they're trying to cover something up, and someone is trying to expose something to the people.
Yeah, because at the beginning there's that big while she's going in. That was one of the very first scenes, maybe the first scene from that era.
Well, there was at the beginning. It showed clips from all of them.
Yeah, like
so
the strike, but like her driving and the strike that was happening while she was going in there.
She was driving through a picket line of anti-nuclear signs. Okay, so after that,
the next story.
the next story is present day, which is Escape from Old Folks Home.
Yeah.
Which is
The comic relief story of the whole movie,
obviously
really.
the comic relief story.
But it's still good and it still serves a purpose.
But that story actually choked me up a little bit more than some of the other ones, even though it was the comic relief one, because my mom's getting up there in age. She's at that age where people are starting to talk about that kind of stuff with her. And
Which essentially in this,
so in Cloud Atlas, this old guy tries to get money from a brother because he's behind on a payment to
the wrong people.
to the wrong people. And how that came about is
Great.
easily the funniest moment in the entire movie.
That is great.
Easily the funniest. But so this old guy tries to borrow money and gets locked up in an old folks home, and which is why that part kind of choked me up a little bit.
But this old folks' home it's like a dictatorship kind of thing. Like people are trapped there essentially once they get there.
Yeah. And my other favorite moment from that one is the I know guy.
Yeah.
He was awesome. He was the cutest little old man ever, too. He had just those chubby little cheeks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but like, and this is the one I think of when I say like they were all similar stories that really went together, but like, and it's cutting between them. So there's parts where people are in like car chases. There's parts where people are doing like they're really sick on this boat, or people are trying to get their freedom, and then it's cutting to old folks trying to amount like almost comedic, like trying to just plan an escape from an old folks home, and they're not as capable, so their chase is more like they can't.
it's less a chase and more
just trying to get out of there. Yeah, but like at the same time, you realize like their struggle is so hard just because of what they have to work with and stuff, and it's that same kind of, it's the same general concept though.
I think the thing I like about the movie the most is because all of this is intercut. If it had just been a movie about the first story, we'd all call it a period piece. You know, it's about that day and age. Same thing with the Halle Berry story. If it was just the Escape from Old Folks story, it would just be considered
Home Alone 5.
They actually did make that already.
I know.
Which is sad because they should have stopped at 1.
They should have stopped at 1, maybe 2.
You're giving too much credit there. But,
2 had the doves, though.
Yeah.
How beautiful was the doves?
I can watch
Doves.
any John Woo movie ever and see more doves and kicks. Flying
I
kicks.
got you.
So if there were kicks in Home Alone, it would have been better.
But yeah,
Anyway, back to Cloud
the
Atlas.
old folks story, if that would have been a movie in and all of itself, it would have been some sort of mild action comedy sort of thing. But because, and obviously the future stories, but because they're all cut together like that, it stops being a story about any time and just starts being a story about raw human emotion.
Well,
which I think they did purposely.
Well, and the thing is too is they actually, and this is why we kind of wanted to stay and listen to the music at the end, is they tie that to, like, that is kind of the thing. The whole movie is in the way that like a song like that is written, where it's got a lot of parts to it, and it's a lot of things intertwined, like a symphony would be, or just anything like that. So it's like the music itself is kind of, it's not there, and it's not really played that often, but it's referenced, and it's not referenced as often as like you would think they would. I'm glad they didn't beat you over the head with it, but it really, like, it's that same kind of feel. It's a lot of things. There's no time to it. There's no space. It's just really just emotion, like you said.
I really like, because the Cloud Atlas thing was made by the composer in that story, and then Halle Berry's story, she ends up listening to that, and that's how that crosses in right there.
And it was inspired by one of the other stories, and then actually played in one of the future stories. And back in the composer story, the man heard his song and had a dream of that future story, and things like that. Like it really, like, it ties in a lot of weird ways, but not like they don't beat you over the head with it though. It's just it's there, and it's for you to think about and for you to make your own like connections with things.
Yeah, which is another reason why I could, if I had the opportunity to go watch the movie again at probably an earlier time, just me, I'd probably end up doing that because I actually really, really enjoyed this movie.
I want to watch it again just to like
just to try to pick
maybe
stuff
on
up.
DVD, but like it's one of those movies where every time you watch it, you have more like you realize more and more little connections because you make them yourself. A lot of them.
Yeah, I think it was good for us all to go. You know, it was one of those, great amalgamation, big things, and it was a great movie to be able to share with friends. But I almost think that you'd get more out of it if not a second time than even the first time, or maybe more. So
I
the
will
first
probably
time
definitely
to
pick this
watch it
up
by
on
your
DVD or
solo.
Blu-ray or whatever. This seems it's a good movie to watch in theaters, and it's a good movie to own actually.
Yeah, I was just about ready to say, I don't know about you guys, but I was going to say that I was going to go pick this up on Blu-ray and watch it.
I absolutely will go pick it up.
It's a great movie. We're just not right in a row. Just when you feel like it, just watch it again because it really feels like it's not a movie. It's a timeless movie in how it was made, and I feel like I don't think it'll have like age. I know we're making this sound like the greatest movie of all time, which I'm not saying it's that. I'm just saying that it's a really good movie and it has this kind of timelessness.
Yeah, I will
to it.
say that it's probably the greatest movie I've seen in a long, long time.
It was really good, yeah.
But that's because
it's our kind of movie though too.
maybe
It's
you-
not everybody's kind of movie.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to hit is if somebody's not into movie, because
Macabre, basically. Like it's kind of a macabre, kind of obscure in a way. It's not totally like it's still got a lot of normal like streamlined movie type stuff, but like
Mostly in
you-
the future stuff.
Yeah, you kind of gotta like to think, and you gotta like to figure out the movie yourself. I mean, they do kind of beat you over the head with stuff, especially later and later they explain things, but like they really let you make the connections yourself and how you want to make them.
For the first hour of the movie, they don't point
You don't
out
know
too
what's
many-
going on really unless you're
It's
really
just,
looking for it.
Yeah, it's just cut, cut.
And honestly, I think at that point you're making all the connections yourself. They really haven't given you any solid evidence on anything. You're just like, I'm thinking maybe this or maybe this, and there's a lot of maybe in your
Yeah,
head.
at that point, most of the connections you're trying to make are based on who's playing the character. At least for me, it was.
Yeah, because you look at it at
'cause that's
first to
the
be
only thing
like
you
it's gonna be the
see-
exact same guy because he's that same character, and it kind of is, but it's really not. Like it's
One of the things that I really liked was they showed, and I'm hating myself for not knowing the name off the top of my head, but Agent Smith
yeah.
V. That guy.
God, why can't I remember Agent Smith's actor either? But yeah, he's
But
great in this
the
movie.
the first time you see him, he's an assassin. He kills somebody right there on screen, and that was an awesome moment. But you see that, and then it cuts to a scene with him in it, and you're like, does his character throughout history have this same sort of thing to him? And you're expecting something horrible to happen. And I guess if you think about it, his character throughout history really was kind of the dick of the movie.
I think that's what they're doing. They're not
No, it
necessarily
was,
making it the same guy,
it was
but
Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
Was really the big evil of the movie. I think.
well, and I think what they did is they used the same actor only to kind of not necessarily to show the correlation, but like it kind of does that. But I think it's just like it's for that reason. So because he's still the villain, but it's not the same guy, and it's not even like an ancestor of the same guy or anything like that necessarily.
I
It's
think-
just
what's the most diverse maybe is Tom Hanks' character, because in that first one he turns out to be like that.
he's the villain.
Yeah, he's like one of the villains in that. I mean, there's certain other people in there, but as time goes on and he starts to meet, because in the first one you see him, there's a slight connection. He sees Halle Berry's character, who at that time was a slave, and they just make eye contact. And then in the next one, which would
Wait,
be
Halle Berry was in the.
oh, I didn't even
yeah,
notice that.
she
No,
was a
I didn't
slave.
even. That's
Yeah,
something that
you could-
I would notice the second time through, but
she
I didn't
was-
notice.
Yeah,
That's actually really, really cool.
and I don't
Yeah.
think they meet in the one after that.
Because now that you're explaining that, I kind of see like it's almost like his character, like the characters that he played, almost evolved over like the time.
Yeah, because like the more and more time progressed,
'Cause even-
he was with her more.
Even in the super future one, like he didn't start out a great guy, but he kind of like they kind of had like the two of the characters kind of had to intertwine, in that way.
Also, because of the way that they cut it, I don't know if this is actually the case, but it looked like you saw Tom Hanks's wife die, and then he's like, guess I pick up a black chick.
He kind of did too, but
You
I feel
know?
like
I don't. Where are you talking?
no, in the super future, I kind
in
of
the
caught that
super
too.
future.
Like he had a wife and kid,
He
and then
had
his
a
wife's
wife
dead, and
a
he's like
kid,
flirting with
and he's
Hallie.
sitting there crying over his wife's body, and then he runs into the woods with his kid, trying to save his kid. He has that flashback moment. Hallie stands up, does her badass ninja shit with her crossbow, and then they run
Ada
off.
Wong's his ass.
Yeah, she Ada Wong's
You're not
his ass.
talking about the very first part with the.
You're talking about like the very end of the
Well, I know,
latest
but I mean-
storyline.
Okay, at the very end, maybe I missed something.
He had a wife.
You
and-
saw his wife, right?
Yeah,
Sister,
maybe it was his sister. I thought he had a wife
the
too.
chick, like that girl, the little girl, wasn't his daughter. It was his niece, and the female was his sister.
I thought
He-
he
they
didn't
actually-
have a wife too, though? I thought that he.
They say it at some point.
Maybe they
say
just made.
sister.
Maybe they just made you kind of. Maybe I just kind of assumed it that he had a wife then, just because of the thing. Like I don't know.
Now I'm questioning. I think you might be right then.
Okay. Yeah, I could be wrong because with everything going, there is a lot of stuff. That
Yeah,
you
there's a
could-
lot of stuff you kind of
you
assume
can
on your own
bypass.
because you're trying to keep up on like what's
Yeah.
already happened. Also, what Derrick's saying would make more sense too because even before like what we thought was his wife died and that the devil character, his like spiritual guide of sorts, was making hints that like he wanted Hallie's character anyway, or that he was interested in her. So like that wouldn't really make a lot of sense too if he has a wife at the time. So
The part where the devil character is sitting there just talking in his
right
face
in his face, like
And-
super close too. Yeah.
on both sides, just, and then he pans up from right there.
I loved everything about that character. That was, like I said, that was my favorite character, bar none.
He
Everything
creeped me
he
out
did.
so bad, and I loved
that's
it.
me. Like when I was a kid,
You're creepy? Yeah, we got that.
No,
you
no.
talk way too close to people. All right, we got
You are
it.
taking narcissism in a weird direction.
Yeah, you're an evil deity
Whatever.
that can speak to people
I
now.
want to be creepy. Okay, keep
Yes.
going.
No. When I was a kid, the thing that got me, and I was talking about this with somebody, the thing that got me into wrestling was the Undertaker and was Mankind, and
What are you pointing out, Jordan?
Just there's a lot of Cloud Atlas talk.
yeah, this is basically.
Wow, we've talked about Cloud Atlas for half the podcast.
And we've only done half the movie.
Well, I
We're not
mean,
even all the way through all the stories yet. We're still only
going
halfway.
through everything. So
We've kind of explained all of the stories, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
the
whatever.
future one we put a lot into.
But anyways,
the true.
Mankind and the Undertaker. Those were like the characters that.
Made Cloud Atlas great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Mick Foley was in Cloud Atlas. No, but those two characters were the two that really got me into wrestling. If you look at them, like when I'm a kid at that age, 4, 5, or 6.
One of their parents got burned when they were a child.
Yeah, right. And like just their whole persona, they should scare the crap out of me. But the promos that Mankind did, like before he became Have a Nice Day, Wear a Tie Mankind,
Or Dude Love Dancing Mankind.
or Dude Love Mankind, they were disturbing, but I don't know, they sank into me, and I think that's it. I love that almost fear that I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but whatever that is.
So Mankind's the one that looks like Ustanok, right?
No, Ustanok looks like Mankind.
I guess one of them did come first.
That's what she said.
She
So
did-
anyway,
she
so
did say that.
we've got all the way up through the old folk story. We've basically explained the
Okay.
future story
Yeah,
pretty
okay,
well.
so,
There's just one
uh,
more, right? Or one more?
yeah,
Or-
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Neo
we
Soul.
talked about the future. But Neo Soul, that's the story that people have the most trouble with online, I've noticed, because of the makeup.
I
Because
didn't care.
yeah, see, I was like, okay, I get that they're supposed to be Asian. That guy kind of looks Asian. He not so much.
Well, they're not supposed to be just Asian. They're supposed to be future people. They just chose an Asian-esque like inspiration, so they don't have to look Asian.
Yeah. So,
Like it would make sense because they came from different races theoretically. Like as I'm assuming, you're assuming they're evolutions of us. We don't know that. That's another thing you make in your head.
I think it was 2,544 was the year.
Yeah, they actually stated that.
21 something.
Yeah, it was 2114, I think.
21?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was 2114.
something.
It's 2114.
Yeah, they reference that year though. They tell you in there at first.
So that's only 100 years in the future, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evolution doesn't work that fast.
They made it seem like we may have intertwined with alien species though, in a way. Like there's all kinds of ways it could have
I
happened.
don't know about what that's going on.
So
but-
They made it possible, I'm saying.
But because of everything, I mean, there could have been something with radiation because they never talked about that because they were talking about the whole they wanted in the 1970s. Oh, that's the 70s though, so that wouldn't
Yeah.
make any sense
You would have seen something in the
in the
present,
future one.
in the present day one,
Or
especially.
I'm sorry, yeah, the present day one.
So, I don't care too much that the white people didn't look perfectly Asian, but I thought they did a damn good job
Well,
of it.
Yeah,
in
they
what
look
they
they look
did.
moderately.
Well, like the
Asian,
thing
and
I'm saying
well,
though is some people came from Asians, some people came from Caucasians. Maybe they just like there's still that difference slightly. You can tell in evolution.
Yeah, I think what was more so.
Evolution works over tens of thousands.
Yeah,
of years,
I admit
not
that 100 years isn't
Fucking
enough
weed.
time.
No, I'm done. Fuck you guys. I'm not saying a damn thing.
All right, good.
Go ahead.
Derek wants to say one thing.
No, he doesn't want to say a damn thing.
He doesn't want to say
I
a
heard him
damn thing. Anyway, so completely ignoring Derek, that's the Neo Soul storyline. You want to give the brief description of that one, Bruce?
Okay. So Neo Soul obviously takes place in Korea, but
Space Korea, thank you.
yes, space Korea. And at first I thought they were hard light bridges, but then I noticed that they were a liquid that was
Yeah.
luminescent.
The part
That was
where they
really
were
cool.
dropping down through
was
layers of
cool.
bridges, like you could go
I
up
s-
and down through roads.
I saw that and I went, God, Halo 4. That's literally all I could think of when I saw the first bridge and it looked like a hard light bridge. I'm like, Oh, at this point it's like 2 more days. 2 more days for Halo 4.
Oh, I thought you meant 2 more days till this movie's over because it was also at that point.
But that story was the Matrix coming through right there. They had the awesome badass choreography in that story.
Yeah, and that's specifically what I think of when I say the contrast between that and the old folks trying to plot some lackluster comedic escape from an old folks. Not really comedic. I make it sound more comedic than it is, but it is in a way. But
No, it's pretty comedic.
yeah, it's comedic in that they're like it seems so small though. I think that's what makes it the most comedic is it's that
Because
compared
essentially they're just trying to get past a gate. Meanwhile in the future they're trying to get rights. For
Human rights.
Human rights for
like a
Flash
clone offspring
clones?
or something like that. Yeah, some kind of genetically created species.
By the way, obviously by now, if people didn't want spoilers, they're fucked. So I'm just gonna come out with this one.
Don't make a big spoiler, Bruce.
Yeah. No, we already pointed out how the movie ends, Jordan.
Not really how it ends. There's
Okay.
still 6 endings we haven't explained. We've just explained the middle.
But the part where the old guy sees the people watching him out the window, and he decides to quote a movie, and he waves his hands up in the air. Do I have to say it? Okay, so he starts screaming, "Soylent Green is people!"
Yeah, I
And
love
then
that.
later on in the movie,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
and I quoted it to Bruce at that time too. I went over and I was like, "Hey Bruce, just so you know, Soylent Green was people."
and yeah, when they made that reveal right there, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
That old guy like 6,000 years ago or whatever. Like I guess 100.
That guy knew what he was talking about.
Maybe it was 2441. Maybe we're dyslexing it because 2114 doesn't seem like it's long enough to me, but it does sound like
swear it was
it does sound like what I remember it being.
It doesn't matter too much.
It doesn't matter. That's
That-
the
hey,
true
that's
true.
the true. Well, I think we've talked about the movie enough
Yeah.
at this point.
I think
so.
that's
If
it.
people didn't want to hear about Cloud Atlas, they tuned out about 40 minutes ago.
So let's just talk about those people real quick. Those people really get under my skin.
Fuck
They're
those
dirty,
people.
classless, don't take enough showers, can't think for
Yeah.
themselves, need movies to over-explain things, and probably root for John Cena at wrestling
They
pay-per-views.
probably loved the second Matrix movie more than the first.
No, actually, it would probably be the other way around, to be honest, Bruce.
I honestly couldn't tell you, other than the fact that Keanu Reeves plays into it, and I'm pretty sure there's an orgy at some point with machines.
No,
You're thinking of Tosh.
no, that was the MTV Music Awards opening.
Yeah,
thing.
it was.
Justin Timberlake. It was my favorite part of The Matrix.
The Matrix was Justin Timberlake's scene.
You didn't like the Matrix?
I loved all three.
I liked The Matrix when I saw it, but I don't think it was anything for me. I'd have to maybe go see it again or see them all because I saw them so far between.
I don't know, though, because if
like,
you watched
the first
it now,
one, the second one, and whatever.
I feel like if someone were to just watch The Matrix now, I mean, you've seen it before, so you get, like, a lot of it was that it was new stuff. So, like, I feel like now you'd watch it and be like, this has been in so many movies that part wouldn't be special to you.
No, but every time that I see something from a movie that got inspiration from The Matrix, because I've seen it, I understand, like, that The Matrix
Was
pushed
important, yeah.
something, yeah.
The Matrix was very important for kind of gunplay sorts of scenarios because
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that they did in it was this over-the-top, very tightly choreographed stuff. And
I mean, they were really taking advantage of technology at the time, which I think, like, there was a lot of stuff people weren't using that they were willing to use.
yeah, they had fully CG characters that until I watched the special features, I didn't realize.
And
that
the super fast camera rotate around people, like, that was new. They invented fast camera.
well, in that case, that was a CG moment. Some of the,
it was, but you know,
in the first movie, they did it physically a few times. They did it digitally a couple
where
times.
they had the camera just basically go around the guy at a high speed camera
And then in the later movies, it was mostly CG.
because that's easier.
Yeah, it was much easier. But I think the first Matrix movie was setting up the universe, which was awesome.
And then they were lucky enough to be able to make a sequel, and they
Yeah,
went with it.
They made the second and the third movie, and I really like the third movie.
That's the one with the war in it, the
Yeah,
machine war.
that has the war, the mechs.
A lot more out of
the
out of
martyrdom.
Matrix. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, the
which-
obvious martyrdom. That was,
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious, but yeah.
yeah. At this point, everybody should know that that's coming.
Yeah, because the Bible's pretty much been spelled out with the same names so far,
Yeah.
and everything at this point are references and names.
But the second one was the weakest point for me, and I actually enjoyed watching it as a movie, but I didn't think it was as deep as the first one, which is like this awakening. And
See, and I always kind of felt like I don't know if they like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if they had too solid of a plan for an entire story in the first one. Like I think they had the ideas there and like the thoughts of the universe, but I don't know if they planned on making a sequel in that sense. Like I don't know if they knew it was going to go that far when they made it.
I can see that.
But like I feel like and a lot of people don't like the second and third Matrix. I think a lot of it is that they weren't exactly the first one. Like there was a lot more martial arts, a lot less gunplay, a lot less of like of that, and they couldn't like surprise you with the story because you already knew it, so they kind of just had to. Yeah.
The first one set up the universe in a very, very cinematic way,
and you didn't know. You had to learn what was going on too in that one. So.
Yeah, like the moment when Neo sits up in that pod, that's a fucking pretty epic moment. Not when I first watched it, that wasn't really that epic of a moment to me, but after thinking about the movie, what he was seeing, what he was probably realizing.
Like if you woke up right now, how ridiculous would that be?
Yeah,
like
that's fucked up, right? Now we just went on a big tangent for the Matrix.
Wachowski brothers.
I actually really do like the Wachowski siblings.
The siblings, is that the?
Oh, cause they're not brothers anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know about Lana Wachowski?
No. I don't keep up on my film people.
One of the guys got a sex change, so he's a chick now.
Really?
Now they're just the Wachowskis.
Yeah,
really?
So now they just say the Wachowskis.
I am not gonna watch Cloud Atlas anymore. That is something I disapprove. I am one of those people. Art is destroyed by artists.
But
may as well just put big old vagina on the stamp on the front of all his movies from now on. Wow.
That's Jordan.
Yep.
So
that's Jordan.
So
Jordan.
But after Cloud Atlas,
the movie after we in
Okay.
reality we watched the movie. This is us
All right,
time
so we
now.
watch the movie, and we get, I think we're talking about it and blah, blah, blah. We get all the way to the cars. I drove with my fiance and Jordan, and Bruce met us there. So we've got 2 cars there.
I think I need to set up the beginning before we went into the theater.
I thought so
We'll just
too.
We'll just let it be. We'll go backwards. We're going to Cloud Atlas this. We're going to talk about pieces.
We're gonna go through different points in the night. So we were in the middle of Cloud
Okay,
Atlas, but
so-
then at the beginning
so
of the
I was
night,
locked out of my car. The pancakes were delicious. I ended up finding the keys, but we got a sandwich. Which
and on the way to the movie,
blue cheese. There we Cloud Atlas that.
we went all over that night at different times.
All right, so...
Now Derek's gonna cut it all together for you. Remix time.
All right, part 1 of this is Bruce texting me and wondering what time I'm showing up for the podcast. And then me saying, well, hey, we don't have the 7th one up yet. We might as well skip it this time, mainly because I was waiting for WWE 13, so I had some other work to do. I had to get games finished and done with. So he comes up with a better idea. Let's go watch Cloud Atlas.
You say one word, Bruce, and this goes into a 25-minute rant about WWE 13. So you watch your tongue,
All
buddy.
right. So anyway, give me my mic. So anyways, from there, I called Jordan and asked Jordan if he wants to go. I don't remember what you said, but you ended up going.
Yeah, we went.
And we brought my fiance, who wasn't super excited for the movie when she saw it. She was like, "Oh, hey, they made a second Crash."
Or a 4th Matrix. I mean,
Or a 4th Matrix. It was Crash meets the Matrix. It was Crash in the Matrix. But anyways, she ended up wanting to go. Bruce?
Okay. I do want to pull something in here.
the microphone noise.
So, I texted people. I'm like, all right, so 9:20, let's meet up. And they're like, okay. I get out of work on this day at 9 o'clock. So I'm expecting to meet up at my house at 9:20. They were expecting to meet up in Grand Rapids.
No, actually, I expected what Bruce said. I just assumed other communication took place between Derrick and Bruce.
Okay. So, somehow they ended up going to Grand Rapids, which is about 20 minutes away from my house, give or take.
It's about 45 minutes away from your house, Bruce.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer than that.
It's 45 minutes away from my last house.
No, it's...
How slow do you drive?
Lakeview's a lot closer to the freeway. Anyway, not important. Not important. Let's not give people geography lessons. Let's go into Bruce's
Anyways, this is
rant
my
about how
address.
much better than us he is.
Okay, but so I ended up rushing a little bit to get there in time. And so we're going to eat in Grand Rapids, and we end up eating at the IHOP, which is right next to the theater.
walking distance.
Yes. So we get there and we see all this stuff, and I don't remember who. I think
Are we the Beastie Boys now? We hand off at the end of like every statement to another
Yes.
person to explain it.
you interrupt me one more time, I'm gonna take your fucking tongue, sir.
Wait, that didn't rhyme.
Check it out.
All right. So I say one word and then you say one word, right?
Yo,
It's
it's great. I don't know, guys. You're not giving me a lot to go with here. Wait, it's swell today.
we're the Beastie Yodas.
The Beastie.
Words don't need to make sense.
Words make sense, don't need. We Cloud Atlas that sentence now.
It's the true.
It is the true. Anyway,
Which honestly is, I think unanimously, regardless of what we say, is our favorite part of the movie.
is the statement. It's the true is how
Yeah.
they say that's true.
All right, so we all decide that we're gonna go walking, and we see IHOP, and I think we talked about IHOP before. So we jump the Mexican
Correction.
border.
Hold on. We went to the National House of Pancakes due
Oh, I'm
to
sorry.
a
Yes.
lighting issue on their sign.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Inter was
so in the world where the fact that the sign was kind of out, we went to National House of Pancakes, and our thought was that we wanted to order Murica pancakes, and when they came out, they played the Star Spangled Banner, and they
In
were
like bikinis, like
and-
American
yeah.
flag bikinis.
and there were like little stars and sparklers in there, and it just
It was a hamburger made out of pancakes.
Murica.
Pan burger.
All right, so we went to the IHOP, and we. What are you grabbing my mic balls?
Well, it's just I wasn't picking up for most of what I was saying.
We don't care about
Fine.
Bruce.
Well, I'm just saying.
All right. Anyways,
I also want to be closer to you.
we'll get through this story eventually. So
We've only been hinting at it since
we
it's
get
been at
there
5.
and we start to order, and everybody's ordering, and I take a look at my phone and see what time it is, and then after everybody gets their order down, I look at everybody and go, "Hey guys, the movie's at 9:40, right?" Everybody agrees.
10:40.
10:40. I'm sorry. The movie's at 10:40, and then I go, "Everyone, look at your phones." And then before they get to look at your phones, I go, "Everyone, it's 10:20."
Yeah, so we ordered 20 minutes before the movie, which means they got to cook it.
I think it was even slightly later than that. It was like within 20 minutes of
Yeah,
the movie.
and he ordered steak.
I did not order
He ate
steak.
Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak.
It's not a steak, though.
Well, whatever. Okay, so there was steak. There's Philly cheesesteak, and I got like a chicken something, like
Yeah.
a Philly cheese chicken.
I got like quesadillas, and then your girlfriend
And then
got
Krista
pancakes.
got pancakes because the IHOP somebody's got to get pancakes, and I'm sure they were delicious pancakes.
She wouldn't know. She absolutely would not know.
We would not know. You ate the pancakes that I paid for?
No. Everything was rotting by the time I made
Oh,
it.
okay.
So that's
was
even
in
more
a
disappointing. I was
car
hoping you would at
waiting
least
to-
finish my quesadillas for me, Bruce. You could text me how they tasted.
All right, so let's continue
Not
with
with
the
the
story.
mold.
So we're all deciding who's gonna get the car because at one point we realize that we're not even going to have time to like swallow this quickly. So we tell the waitress to bring them in boxes, and the check. So we're all paying, and we're also me and Bruce are playing rock paper scissors because Krista's the girl, she's not going, and something about Jordan.
Something about Jordan.
I think he did something for you in Pokemon.
Oh yeah, he caught me a Bellsprout. So like he
No,
got-
I bought the game and let you play it the day I bought it. That was part of the thing.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, about 10:30, we're like, fuck, somebody's gotta go get the car. We end up deciding about 10:39,
Yeah.
something like that. I get back with the car because
I beat his ass in rock paper scissors.
He
we actually-
cheated.
hey, we tied the first round, we tied the second round, and then you beat me.
Okay,
That's not
fine,
beating
fine.
my ass.
So the match was on epic.
Yeah, it was set on epic difficulty.
That's 1-0-2. That's hardly a bad spread at all.
Whatever. Okay, so it's an epic battle of paper scissors, rock paper scissors. However you want it.
They
the
were-
rock paper scissors.
They were sweating by the end of this, both of them. The look in
Right,
their
Wizard
eyes told the
Spock.
story.
Yeah. All right. So Bruce goes out to run the car, and I have no idea what happened during that moment. So I want you to paint me a word picture about you running, like the end of Saints
Okay.
the Third.
So, like, in as few words as
I
possible.
need a hero.
No, I want it all.
All the night
Okay,
for a hero.
you just ruined my joke. No, I just ran the fuck over there and grabbed the car.
God damn it.
You didn't hop the double fence? You didn't do the double
No.
Mexico hop?
No, I barely did that the first time.
You didn't do it. We just pretended you did.
I actually ended up believing that, but
You believed it.
so I got back though at around the time that the movie was starting, and only a couple of us had still paid by that point, and so you and Krista had paid, so you went out to the car and I gave you the keys. You went out to the car to get it started, And then as me and Jordan were paying, whoever paid first went out there. So I ended up getting my payment through last. I go out there, hop in, door was open. You pull out, we book it around, we get over there, and luckily we got a really, really damn close parking space. Now, I have this habit of leaving my keys in the car.
You did not leave your keys in the car, sir.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't.
Because like
Well,
here's
obviously,
Derrick
otherwise the story wouldn't have ever happened.
Derrick,
so
before
I'm
you
setting
give
up
me
why
this,
this.
okay. Yeah, before you give me like whatever happened, I got out of the car, looked at you, said Bruce, and then threw the keys up movie style.
and Bruce caught
and then
them.
you walked into him and caught him, and that's the last time I saw the keys.
All right. So
The keys have been handed.
before this moment, I was setting up that I don't normally take my keys out of my car.
Okay.
I almost exclusively leave them in some sort of nook or cranny that I'm used to on that vehicle where people aren't going to see them instantly. Because if somebody's going to break into my car, they're just going to break into my car. I don't give too many fucks about this. So when you threw me my keys, I'm like, grr. I was half tempted to just run back to the car and throw them in it, but we were really late for the movie. So I'm like, fuck it. So I run in, and I got my keys in hand. And I ended up being the first one to the front of the line, so I bought tickets for everyone. Now, I'd like to point out, I was thinking, as I picked up my car the next day, fuck, they wasted all their money on this food. I kind of owe Krista a set of pancakes. Then I went, wait, I paid for the movie. I don't owe Krista pancakes.
Which, by the way, that's exactly what she said as we were walking away. I go, wow, he paid for the movie. I was like, that's really generous of him. She's like, fuck generous of him. I'm about to lose out on pancakes. And then when we got home, because she thought that she was at least going to be able to eat cold pancakes, when she got home and didn't have pancakes, she was like, I'm so glad Bruce paid for that movie because I didn't get my pancakes, which I paid for and lost out on. I lost out that money and that pancakes.
But
and
you
the
got to
fact-
watch Cloud Atlas
But I got to watch
on
that.
Bruce's dollar.
So I was the first person through the line. Bloop, swiped the card, bought all our tickets. That way we could go to the movie as quick as possible.
By the way, I'm thinking like this story. I'm thinking about Cloud Atlas, and I'm trying to like figure out like it's like the Who Done It. Only it's like the Where Did Bruce leave his keys? And like right now, my thought is that they're right here at this moment.
Speaking of Cloud Atlas, we
Whatever,
really need
shut
to
up.
wrap this up and get onto
No, we
some
don't.
other topics.
There's cuts in here. We're fine.
There's probably not.
There aren't really cuts, dude.
I don't care.
It's all important.
We'll keep
Cloud
it going.
Atlas. You can't
Keep it
take
going.
half out. Anyway.
I'm perfectly fine with an
So-
hour and a half podcast. But
So you're saying is that where you think you ended up losing them then? Because we checked
oh,
the
no,
bathroom,
no,
we
I
checked
know,
the
I
theater.
know where I lost them.
Okay.
But so we're running down the hallway. We've got our tickets pulled already. We get down there. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I've already missed a little bit. I'm gonna go take a piss. And so I run in there, and I almost exclusively piss in a inside
Stall.
of a stall.
Stall.
Mostly because of the book Dune, but that's a different thing. Never have your back exposed, ever. But anyways, so I'm like, I need 2 hands for this. I put the keys down behind the flush, take a piss, go watch the movie. Notice I didn't say anything about picking the keys up.
So we looked in the bathroom and okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because we looked. That was the first place we checked, or one of the
Right,
first places.
so we assumed that was where we left them. Spoilers, that's where we left them.
Spoiler alert on Bruce's Cloud Atlas, outside of Cloud Atlas story.
Yeah, so we went watch Cloud Atlas. It's fucking awesome.
And 6,000 years in the future, future Bruce
Is gay.
is gay Bruce.
That's
Oh.
probably how it works. I'm wearing teal.
And then and Agent Smith was trying to like screw over your gay self in some way. Not in the good way
If
for your
by
gay self.
screw over you mean literally screw my gay self, then yes.
So in a
Agent-
future life, you and the actor that played Agent Smith in The Matrix are gay lovers. That's Cloud Atlas for you.
I'm okay with this.
Actually, kind of wish that was this story, right?
It might be. I haven't moved to New York yet. So we're walking out to the car, which is where we were originally with this story.
At like 3 in the morning ish, 2 to 3.
Right. Well, we walk out to the car. We realize it's locked. We're like, fuck. We walk back to the doors. They're
Realize
locked.
that's locked. The theater's locked.
Yes, the theater is locked up. So we're waiting outside for people to come to the door, and we end up waiting
It wasn't too.
It wasn't too long. No,
Maybe
it was actually almost immediately that I saw people and flagged them down. So it wasn't.
It might have been two.
It
2.5
felt like
minutes.
half an hour to me though.
It felt like 2 seconds to me because I saw people immediately and waved to them.
Well, like yeah, Bruce is the one who lost his keys.
So yeah.
I'm obviously flipping out at this point, not because I lost my keys, not because somebody could steal my car, because I don't have anything valuable in the car, and I have full coverage.
You have my dinner in your car. Don't tell me there's nothing valuable in there.
I can buy you a new dinner, Jordan.
You didn't though, Bruce. You didn't.
Instead, I bought your way into a movie.
It's not the same.
You're right. It is definitely not the same.
Actually, just as a note, a little side note, I didn't. Well, Cloud Atlas, back to the beginning. I took the time to eat 2 quesadillas while I was paying, so I
so
was
if
gonna
anything, you owe me money.
I owe you 2
and I ate
quesadillas.
most of my food. I just downed.
It was mainly Krista that
yeah,
got screwed on this.
I finished my food.
Well, see, because we're all guys, and we don't care like to just grab that entire thing because it was falling apart. It was all in my hand.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know, it was
It
messy.
was gooey,
And-
yummy goodness.
And I just devoured that sumbitch. But Krista, the female, she wants to be all dainty and pretty because she hasn't been out in a while. So she's like, I'm not going to eat this and get all messy.
You're about to be in a theater where no one's gonna see your ass.
Women don't care.
So, we go inside, and at this point, we walk up to the desk because that's the obvious first place you go to see if somebody's turned these in. There's that.
I think we went to the bathroom before that, even didn't we?
No, no, we went to the desk first.
We went back to the desk. We went to the desk, to the bathroom, and then
We
I
went-
actually
no,
went,
we went to
behind
the-
the desk.
Went
Yeah,
desk
we
to
went to the
and very
desk.
great.
There was nobody there originally, so then we ran off to the bathroom to look there. We looked in the bathroom. We can't find the keys, which is where we assumed they were. So we're like, fuck. People are cleaning the theater. Maybe somebody's turned them in. So we go up to the front desk. There's nobody there. We end up, we walk behind it, and that's when this old lady's like, "Can I help you?"
Like more, what she's really saying is, get the fuck out from behind the desk.
Which that was actually part of my plan. Was like, 1, they could be behind the desk, and 2, if I'm behind the desk and I obviously don't work here, somebody's gonna flag me down and be like, "You're not supposed to be behind here."
You're like, well, you're here, ma'am.
So, spoilers, they were behind the fucking desk. So this old lady comes up to the desk. She asks me to describe the keys. I'm like,
They look like fucking keys, lady. They go in a car. I turn it. It starts.
in case she has them and she doesn't want to hand out somebody's keys to somebody else. So I'm like, they have a Little Mermaid keychain. They're my wife's keys. You fucking listeners, don't judge. So
They're not. The keys may be hers, but the Little Mermaid is for sure Bruce's.
I didn't want to be outed, Jordan. So anyway,
You just said you wanted to be
about-
gay with.
Yeah, you wanted Mr. Smith inside you.
who doesn't?
When you make love to him, do you tell him he's
He
the
was
one?
You know
he
who?
had a vendetta.
The vendetta was Bruce's pants.
That's why they disappear all the time. So
When you're drinking.
So we go up there. We ask the old lady if she's seen keys. I described them. She's like, "No, there's no keys here. That's because she's fucking blind and old."
You know what?
They were
She
right.
might be the fucking person that was the evil old lady in the Cloud Atlas movie because she's obviously evil.
So we're like, fuck. Well, I guess the food's screwed. And
Which was all we cared about. None of us cared about Bruce's car keys
I didn't
one
care
bit beyond
about
his
my car.
our food.
I'm covered for that, so I don't care. I actually have to do repairs on the car, so if somebody stole it, that's better for me. But
You can get another tiny green shoe car.
I love that car so much. As far as gas mileage goes, oh god, it's so beautiful.
Do you
As
orgasm
far as-
every time
as-
you fill
as
up?
far as getting out of Texas goes, not so much. That's a story for another time.
They got out of there just fine. So
We just Cloud Atlas back to that. That's the new term for cutting through time. Otherwise, Cloud Atlasing to somewhere in time.
You know what makes me sad? Oh god. We don't have the time to discuss this. I'm not even gonna bring it up. It's something to do with Georgie Poo. But
Oh.
Disney?
yeah. But let's finish this story.
I think I
and then
know where
let's
you're
go
going
into
with
it.
this one. I think I'm aware of this. That
I think
oh.
everybody's aware of
Now
it.
you got me wanting to be on this. We do not have
Wait, I
time.
know. So, I end up hitching a ride with Derrick. I get home. I get the number for the theater. And I'm like, all right, when I wake up, I'm going to call the theater. So go to sleep, wake up, call the theater the next morning, and I'm like, do you have a set of keys there? And they're like, can you describe them? Okay, it's got a Little Mermaid keychain. Fuck you, listeners. So
And Georgie Poo especially, he judges harder.
he
than
is
anybody
a
else.
judgmental guy.
God, quit mentioning. Georgie Poo. No, I can't even say his name without wanting to cry.
He probably likes the Little Mermaid a little bit more now.
Yeah. Oh, that's not super inside if you know what we're talking about.
Okay, so fuck.
Google George Lucas and Disney. You'll probably figure out what we're getting at.
So I called them, and there's this young lady there. I described the keys, and she's like, "Yep, they're right here. Somebody turned them in last night." Okay, that's cool. What? Somebody turned them in last night?
Did you be like, I want an exact fucking time of when those were turned in?
So I'm like, somebody turned those in last night. Yeah, the note says they were turned in about midnight.
That is like well within. We're still watching the movie.
So they have the note so they can figure out what movie people were watching.
Mm-hmm.
So
now I want to go punch an old lady. Let's go beat her up.
They were on the desk when that old bitch said that they weren't there.
I missed them.
Yeah, Derrick is even. You're old too, Derrick.
I also didn't know what the keys looked like.
You leaned over. I started walking around, and that's when she walked up.
So we would have found him if not for her.
So she was like, I feel like this is a conspiracy, and she
fucked us over.
She was trying to hide those keys. She probably put the mold on the food so we couldn't have it. Obviously, she's evil.
Okay, so in the end, fuck that old bitch. So Georgie Poo.
No, we don't have time for Georgie Poo.
Yeah, we really.
Let's just say what we're mad about, and we won't comment on it at all.
Okay, so here's what I'm not mad about in any way, shape, or form.
I'm
actually
totally happy about this.
I'm very hopeful for this because the last 3 movies and the first 3 movies sucked balls.
And that was Bruce's
that is Bruce's opinion.
Don't listen to
the rest
Bruce's
of TGA
opinion.
is not responsible for Bruce's opinion because they want nerd cred.
Now, I don't want nerd cred.
We just fucking love.
Up.
Yeah, this is for real.
We're
doing a big group hug. Apparently.
I'm not a huge I just wanted to say this is what I got. I found out that he was selling before I found out that Disney. Like I heard that he was selling it to someone new, and so I was like, all right. And his whole thing, whatever. I think I may have been a misquote, but what I heard was that like George Lucas or Lucasfilm said that they wanted to pass off the Star Wars legacy to a new group of people who could expand on that world. And I was like, that sounds great because it could get back to being awesome.
I'm next, Bruce.
But then, like, I just went and clicked, like, the next day, and, like, on Yahoo, it's just, like, LucasArts, or Lucasfilms bought by Disney, and I just go,
no, and then I find out
Little Mermaid's gonna have a lightsaber.
No, hold on.
Leia is the new Disney
and I find out, and I might not be right on this, but from what
Kingdom Hearts is gonna be sweet.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that. Darth Vader, Kingdom Hearts. But anyway, here's the
Keyblade's gonna fucking glow.
Well, here's the thing. God. Here's the thing, though. Is from what I've heard, though,
I take it all back. I'm happy.
From what I've heard, though, they're not going by the books or anything like that. It's all new. It's Disney, like, just makes an entirely new, like, expansion on this.
They said episode 7, and that it might be the cornerstone of a new trilogy.
Yeah, I heard that they're not going by the books even. Which I'm not.
The movies didn't go by the books. They didn't. The books just expanded on the stuff that was already in the movies, and then when the first 3 came out, they actually kind of screwed over the story of the books. It's kind of my Halo thing, but in Star Wars.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like not optimistic, but we're not gonna comment on it. It's a great idea. Let's go with it. Kingdom Hearts, Darth Vader.
Well, I'm just. Did you like episode 1, 2, 3?
I liked episode 2 and 3.
Okay.
You like 2 and 3, but not 1?
I liked parts of 1. I just didn't like there was way too much focus on little kid Anakin that I didn't like.
I don't know.
And Jar Jar.
Now, like, if I think back on it, and I'd have to watch them again, I wasn't a huge fan I wasn't a huge fan of any of the 3. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I had such high hopes.
The end of the 3rd one made me cry, Derrick. It was
at that
sad.
point,
You knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. Shut up, Bruce.
Yeah, at that point.
I watched this. That was Bruce's crying.
I can't. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the
and the thing
1, 2, and 3.
The 3rd one did make me cry when I first watched it because I was little. But then, like, later on when I watched it, and then especially,
the 3rd one didn't really come out when you were little, Jordan.
I was fairly little when the 3rd one came out. Like,
do you mean the 6th one?
The 6th one, yes, Bruce. The 3rd one was out when I was like a fetus. All right.
The 3rd one was out when you were in high school.
When we talk about
I don't think episode 3 was episode 3 when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Still. It had to be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think I guess what I'm saying is I hadn't watched the whole series as an older person that took it in at that point, though. Like, even though you know that part's coming in the storyline, I still think it's a really sad scene, especially like you go back and like I watched all the Clone Wars show. I really like the animated series.
I love the
Yeah,
animated series.
but here's the thing though: is when
The
you
animated
realize
series
the
was
person that
tits.
was given the orders to shoot Obi-Wan was like in so many missions. They were like brothers practically. Like all you just see so much of these characters, and then you're like, yep, that guy just on the drop of a dime will shoot Obi-Wan right in the back. It's saddening.
You know what that means? He's a good damn soldier.
It means he's a freaking clone with a protocol built into him to shoot everything he stands for in the back.
But no, I'm actually kind of hopeful because I feel that Disney's kind of been on a roll lately as far as at least their animated movies. Their live actions,
I can say that. I agree with that too. I just am concerned.
So did anybody go see Wreck-It Ralph? Of course not. It came out at midnight last night.
No, but I want to see it, but not really in theaters.
Yeah, Lucas wanted us to go watch it.
Yeah, if anybody wants to see it, I will, but I'm not gonna go.
I don't know if he
It's
did.
hard.
He probably did because he said he was gonna watch it Friday, but he wanted us to go see it
Tomorrow?
with him. I'm busy tomorrow.
When Derrick says he's busy, he means me and Derrick are busy power making wrestlers for WWE 13 until Halo 4
Yeah,
comes
like
out.
that-
Well, which we don't have time for, so.
Yeah, not conveniently. We don't have time for. Oh, what about Halo? Do we have time for Halo?
Actually, I want time for a little bit of time for Halo because it is coming out next week, and I am super excited about it as well.
It's coming out in 2 days.
Yeah.
and we're all excited. We can all unanimously say that we're excited about that.
Well, the thing I want to
wanna
mention.
go back.
No, hold on. I want to touch on something, Bruce, because you
wanna
you have
erase,
talked
like,
enough.
20 minutes, so we have time.
All
to
we
talk
have
about
heard,
it.
all we have heard so
have
far.
talked enough, Jordan.
All we have heard is Bruce so far. So like I don't want him to get too much in this. Not that I don't like your opinion on this. I want to get.
I love my opinion.
I love it too. I just want to get direction on this. So like we've talked a lot about the multiplayer and the gameplay and stuff. And some of the story and backstory. The thing what I'm seeing from the commercials now, we're seeing commercials and things like that, and we've seen.
Oh, you watch TV? Okay.
Well, anyway, no, it's because I don't watch all video that doesn't throw ads in online. But anyway, so it's looking like the storyline, and this might be just me guessing. It looks like it's gonna be more like Halo 1 in that it's a little bit less of just like a big war with a bunch of people shooting a bunch of people, and more just one person kind of in like because they make it look like you're gonna be more isolated. Which is what I really like. One of the things I like the most about the first game is it felt like there were parts where you had like big action and big vehicles, but there were parts where like you just felt alone against the world, and I really like that feel. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. Hoping.
I think the biggest moment in the first one is it's just a gulch, and you have like wraiths firing at you. That's like the biggest moment I can think of. Well,
back then though, even just getting in a Jeep in level 2 and driving around was pretty big.
Awesome, yeah.
That was pretty. That felt expansive back then. And
I've actually. Have you read any of the reviews that came out?
No, did it get 4.5?
Currently, the Metacritic for this is 95, which means in a 10-point scale, it got 9.5.
I'm pretty sure
around the
IGN
board.
said that it's the best game ever. It's gonna be the best game ever.
IGN's review was 9.8 out of 10.
Yep. Which is my exact thought is that must be like half as good as Resident Evil because they got a 4.5 and I think we're grading downwards.
So
must not be as good as I'd hoped.
and I guess I'm actually a little irked about that because the negative that he said for it was that the Spartan Ops mission was a little short for him. But they're coming out weekly.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a weekly episodic thing. One thing that I did notice, though, is they said it replaces Firefight, which I don't mind because I don't really play it a lot. I like Firefight.
I can see people being a little...
Yeah. No, I can understand being irked by it. I never play it a lot because I don't have, like, a setting where there's someone that, you just don't really... I don't have time to have people over to play it. And
Yeah,
it just
Firefight's not fun by yourself.
Yeah, it isn't. And, like, what's more fun with multiple people is just playing Halo Online because, I've been playing online Halo since Halo 2, and I logged in a lot of hours in Halo 2 and 3, and I still don't get tired of that gameplay, so I don't need Firefight, really.
Okay, so Mountain Dew's doing that double XP thing, and so, woo,
This P is overrated.
you can get double XP on 200 matches, right? I'm like, okay, so I
It's
get
day one.
Yeah. So I get it all put in there. I've actually made enough entries to.
I thought Bruce was gonna be like, I'm already a general. I feel like the game isn't even out yet. Don't you love our age of computers and games? It doesn't matter how good you are.
I just need to play one match.
Bruce like, I got 3rd place, but I'm the best in the world, bitch. CM Punk of Halo.
I just have to score one damn kill.
Bruce gets a headshot, and all of a sudden, like, bam, top of the leaderboards. You bought a shitload of Mountain Dew. His achievement, do the do.
Well, that's why it tops out at 200 matches. I'd actually currently, if they didn't have that, I'd have 750 matches. But you're allowed 750. I threw that number out randomly, but 750 entries. You don't get one match per entry. You get about 3 at minimum. But the reason I bring this up is Jordan was talking about logging in a ton of hours. So I'm like, 200 matches. I guess that could last a little bit. And I wasn't really thinking about it. And then I logged on to Reach and saw how many matches I have played. And it's over 10,000.
It's over 9,000.
I'm like, holy shit.
No, and actually though, I didn't play a lot of Reach. I just didn't have a lot of time in that span.
That's the thing. I played more Halo 3 than Reach, and more Halo 2 than Halo 3. So I'm really wondering, how many matches did I play of Halo 2?
Here's the thing though, you youngsters weren't around when Al Gore first made the internet fast. I was there when fast speed internet got made.
Wait.
I had it before most y'all, and I was playing Halo 2 online, and yeah, so super veteran as far as that goes, and still not tired of that gameplay.
So Al Gore built the box.
Al Gore made the internet. Yeah, the box that is the internet that's on top of Big Ben.
Yeah.
Yep, stays on top of Big Ben at all times. That's where Al Gore keeps it. He's probably part of the elders of the internet.
We probably shouldn't have given that information because there's like gonna be a lot of people storming Big Ben right now.
No, that's why it's so bad in those apocalyptic movies when you see Big Ben get.
I know, because that's where the internet's going.
You're like, oh no, the internet's down. That's
Aren't they
why
the
it's
elders of the internet
apocalyptic.
though? So I mean, Stephen Hawking is one of the elders of the internet. I assume Al Gore is one of the elders since he invented it.
Yeah, he's fourth signet.
I would be great. Like Derrick says, we're endangering it. I think it would be terrible if we found out Big Ben was terrorist attacked. Like, so us quoting a TV show, a British sitcom, got Big Ben attacked. That is ridiculous. But anyway, so what are your thoughts on like a Halo 4? I know you haven't looked into it too much. I really haven't looked into it a lot either. But like, what are you kind of thinking on it?
I'm excited for the storyline. I've always loved the storyline there.
Same here, yeah.
And I'm really excited for the.
Well, hold on. Keep going, but what you're saying is great in that it's great because it's a storyline I've loved, and it's like a fresh start on a storyline. Not for Bruce, because he's a douche. No, you're not a douche, Bruce. He is totally a douche. But it's like a fresh start, but still the same story, and it's kind of that thing, though. You really want to know where it goes, and from what I've seen, it looks great.
I'd like to point out, I'm not arguing the fact that I'm a douche.
Just let Derrick finish before he forgets his thought.
It's not a fresh start. I'm totally a douche.
It's a fresh start as far like you know what I'm saying, Bruce. It is not to you because you're a douche.
To me, the storyline is more important than online. And I know for a lot of people, especially
that sounds like
people
you should
who
make that like a shirt. Like, what's more important, storyline or online?
Yeah, right. But see,
soon in the TGA store.
But oh yeah, hell's yeah. See, I am losing my thought. But anyways, the people who play like Call of Duty and everything, it's all about online. I've got people that I know who have never touched the storyline, but they play like 20 hours, in like 2 days of just online. But to me, I'm not a huge fan of online play, mainly because, no offense, I hate randoms. Like, when I play a match, I would love... Like, my favorite time playing Halo ever is playing in Bruce's basement.
LAN parties are definitely a superior experience. I agree with
LAN
that, too.
parties.
Yeah.
It was greatness.
Were you there for the one in the church's basement? Where
yes.
That one was epic.
There's a lot of epic moments. There's a lot of stories from there.
Capture the flag match that we had to quit because it wasn't going anywhere after 3 fucking hours.
I've had a match like that, too, but you know what the team that lost after that 3 hours said? Can we play that map again? And I was like, I quit because I thought you were pissed and we played for 3 hours and we stole one of your flags. We thought that was a good stop point. Like, hell no. Good map editing skills.
You don't stop at the first flag. You stop at the third flag.
But the difference between any other game in Halo is I've learned, and normally I always think I suck at games, but and I always thought that like Bruce was God at Halo because I never played online that much, and then I play online and I'm stomping Bruce, sometimes. I have my bad days, but like I'm pretty fucking good. Or at least I was like for a while. I was pretty fucking good. I am good looking. I like that. Keep doing that.
He's
Just
very
feed his narcissism as much as possible.
Yeah, but
Derrick has what we like to call a photogenic memory, so
That was good.
Anyway, what are you doing? So, but yeah, so because I don't get stomped, I enjoy it more.
I think it's honestly, I think it's just, and what you're saying is based off the fact that they put a lot of work into like matchmaking in the game and how it picks your foes. My problem is this: I always play with my brother, General Money. He is fucking way good at Halo. All his friends that play with us are way good at Halo. Especially with like Reach, I didn't play it as much, so I would join their game and I would be like, I'm pretty good at Halo Online, but it's been so long since I've played by myself with people who are matched up against my skills that like I'm always like just trying to keep like above water, like keeping a 0 kill to death ratio is like a goal of mine a lot of the time.
And I think the funny thing is, if you think about it, since him and none of his friends are pro level, imagine how fucking good the people that actually get paid to play games are.
Ryan won some gaming gloves at a Halo tournament,
I will be at the Halo tournament. What's your point?
but he won gloves.
I didn't win gloves. I won money.
No, but this is the thing. So I'm matched up as far as like, because I get put on their team all the time. So it's Ryan, who's he's in the middle of the group. There's people definitely that are ridiculous above him, people who are below him. No, but here's the thing. So at one point when we, back in the days of Halo 2, when it was fairly new, yeah, 2 was out at this time. It was like 2 was brand new. We invented the LAN party. Nah, we had that in 1 too. But anyway, we were in the Blood Gulch. I think it was Halo 1, now that I think about it. We're in the Blood Gulch, me and Ryan, and we would always get pissed at Ryan, accuse him of being a screen cheater. I'm in a whole nother room at this point. We run a patch cable through a wall. I'm on my own TV. He's in his room. I'm all the way across Blood Gulch, which is a huge desert level, huge at the time. I've got a sniper rifle aimed at the back of his head. The dot is red. So all I have to do to kill him is pull right trigger down. He's all the way across the desert. He turns around, sees me out of the corner of his eye, zooms in, shoots me in the head before I do anything, and I'm like, son of a bitch, he can't be screen cheating. He's in another room. That's the person that the internet's like, you're on his team all the time. Let's bring in people that are good as or better than him. And I'm like, all right, guys, this is great. And I still hold my own, so I'm good with that. But I wish I was MVP once in a while more often.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, when I'm with people that we play with, I tend to be up towards the top, but whether I'm the top level or second or third, it switches depending on game mode. When I'm by myself, top 90% of the time.
Yeah, no, yeah. When I'm alone too, yeah, like I crush. Actually, funny story. It pissed me off in Halo 3. I kept trying to get my rank beyond a certain point, and I would win like 90% of my matches. Not only would I win, there were games where I had 25 points. Like that was the score for your team was supposed to be 25 points. I have 25 points. The opposing team has 5. And I would win like 5 of those in a row, nothing. Ryan plays my game for like 5 minutes, and it goes up that next rank. I'm so pissed. I hate the way the online works as far as that because it spites me. But one thing, though, is actually objective-wise, I do rule objective game types because I'm in those games with those people that are by far superior to me. I always get MVP, get like 3 points in like 30 seconds. I can't be touched and capture the flag. It's ridiculous.
So in Halo 4, they're doing a new objective type called Dominion. Did you see that?
I don't know, but I bet I'll be the best at it.
So this game type that Jordan's going to be the best at.
I'm going to get 0 kills but the most points every game.
You actually, you remember Territories?
Yeah.
Nobody really played it too much, but
It was good for map editing, and that was about it.
it was. I actually enjoyed
I
Territories
remember us playing Territories a lot.
because
Yeah, it was fun, yeah.
I like Territories because it drew people into an area, and Halo 2 had some really broken ass maps.
Well, because Territories was fairly new.
Yeah, so they didn't have
That's
it
why they
planned
added
out
turf
that
in,
well.
yeah.
There were plenty of spots where I would jump up and I would just crouch down with my shotgun. I'd still be in the territory because they didn't have it set up to have a certain height. And so I'd be in the territory. I'd be claiming the territory, and enemies would run into this little area. They wouldn't see me because I'm way the fuck up there, and then I just drop down, kill them, hop up.
Just a note, we played that game in 007 GoldenEye. I mean, you couldn't have the physical territories, but we'd spend like an hour shooting all the ammo crates into one room. We called it Death Room. You just sprint into the one big room of that level and all fight to the death. Yeah, that was old school Territories.
But anyways, so Dominion is territories, but you actually build up a base in the territory. Once you claim the territory, it starts building itself up. You get turrets, you get weapon spawns, you get stuff, making it slightly better and better of a territory.
Does it?
But it doesn't reset the instant somebody takes it. So you want to level it up, but you also want to pour your resources into this area. You want your people holding down this area. And so it's just another way of them drawing the combat.
That actually
into
sounds
an
really
area.
cool. You know, it'd be nice too. I don't know if they probably won't do it because like they really want to specify in like the base building. But like, I think you played Perfect Dark Zero, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had the Dark Ops mode where you'd make money and buy guns. Like you'd get more guns as time went on. Like that was a cool system too, which makes me think I'll be really excited about this game type.
Right.
Actually, sounds like it might be all I play to be honest. And it
Uh,
makes me really want to have a LAN party for the first time in for like ever.
I constantly want to have LAN parties when it comes to Halo because that's where I feel Halo shines the most.
Yes,
Easily.
it does.
But
Plus, I'm a map editor, God.
That's the only place, and like another thing that I was talking about, how because I'm good at Halo, whereas I'm not, and good.
Photogenic memory.
I'm good at Halo, at least, but I'm pretty damn good from,
He's better than he is at Call of Duty. We'll just leave it at
Yes.
that leaves it open to
Yeah,
interpretation.
I suck at Call
yeah,
of
I'm
Duty.
pretty bad at Call of Duty.
Call of Duty on PC,
Now,
I own.
Now you've got all of these randoms
PC
talking
gamer.
so much shit at you.
That was
but
10 years ago, though.
At least when I'm good, like they can talk all the shit that they want. They can call me a fag and that I'm gay, while I'm trying to feed my son and kill them at the same time. And I'll just be like, yeah, of course I'm gay. I'm a big fag. I fucked your dad. Or like I'll thank them when they insult me because I'm murdering them.
So I'd like to point something out. When I'm playing on Xbox Live and somebody goes, "You fucking faggot," you know what I do at that point? I go, "Yeah, I'm gay. What of it?" And then I describe gay sex in as graphic of terms as I can possibly think of. Like,
Are you allowed back on Xbox Live yet? From
But the thing is, you get muted like that when you start describing anal sex in
you know
grim
what?
detail.
That's bullcrap because people like you make me sick, and this is why. Because I actually have a really high negative feedback rating on Xbox Live, and this is why. No one's given me feedback since Rainbow Six, but in that game, people hated me and they lied and they slandered me. And I know they lied because I was always in a private chat with Ryan on there, and I got so many things for swearing, unsportsmanlike conduct, and like.
Well, people do that when you're good at a game.
No, and that's
They
the
do
thing.
that.
No, people hated me in Rainbow Six because like Rainbow Six Vegas when it first came out, I would go online and it would be every round. The first round I'd go in pistol and shield, and they would get pissed. They would ban pistol and shield first round. So I'd go with shotgun. Then they would ban shotgun because they're like, the point of Rainbow Six isn't to sprint in the enemy base and kill them all. I'm like, that wasn't the goal, but when my jackass teammate shut the door behind me, the plan changed, all right? And then I'll go in like, yeah, they would just keep banning every gun I had and then just kick me out, and Ryan would still be in the game laughing his ass off.
I think I've had one negative, one negative review, and that's
You've had
because
at least two.
At least two.
Because of
Did you-
Bruce.
I give a negative review to every single person that I'm friends with in real life.
That's nice.
I do the opposite, actually.
Anyways, but I noticed that
It doesn't
that
matter.
things changed because there was this guy, and I think Bruce was in the game. It was me, Derrick, Shifty D, and I think Bruce and me and that guy.
What
'Cause
game?
Halo, and he had a party
What
of
game?
Halo 3.
Okay, so I was rocking
Was it
ass.
shiny,
Yeah, okay.
bottomless pits?
So, anyways,
Co-op or
the
what?
point of the story is not Jordan,
That's how I remember
who's
it.
not in the story, but they had 5 people in their group. So that fifth person is going to be with us because there was
Right.
3 people with us. So he just sat there and continuously screwed us over until finally Shifty D killed him, and then we got booted. So I went and had a conversation with that guy. Like I sent him a voice thing, and then he sent me one back, and it was just us
call them
talking.
messages.
It was just us. I'm sorry. It was just us talking shit to each other. Only I wasn't, talking shit. I was just telling him that he was a bad person. And then he's like, "Yeah, whatever. You're this. You're that. I'd kill you in one-on-one." And then I instantly just hit invite and invited him to a one-on-one game. He killed me twice. It was in the pit. He killed me twice.
So the best level
Yeah, he killed me twice in a row
in the DLC.
with rocket launchers. With the rocket launcher. Then I killed him, stole the rocket launcher, and then proceeded to kill him 22 times before he just quit. And
What?
That wasn't DLC. That came in the game.
No, the pit was DLC for Halo 2. It came with the multiplayer map pack. I know because I got it on a disc.
I have it on a disc. The pit was Halo 3. It wasn't in 2.
we're talking
Yeah.
about 3.
The pit
Oh, we are
wasn't in
talking
2.
about 3. Okay.
You're
Yeah.
thinking of the something else.
But anyways,
We'll cut that out, Bruce.
no,
Sorry.
we're cutting nothing out. But so the point of me doing that is going all the way back to LAN parties where like I'm a nice guy most of the time. I try to be as nice as possible because I don't want to be that dick online. I'll be a dick in front of your face because then at least you have the chance to do something about it.
The
But,
point of
like,
LAN parties is to be more of a
yeah,
dick.
but see, when I
to
go,
the other team
yeah,
anyway.
when
Your
I'm-
team are brothers.
When I'm in a LAN party, when we do the LAN parties, I've never been so mean to Dave in my life.
Yeah, I am a complete asshole.
And we all
in
do
LAN
it.
parties.
No, LAN parties are awesome because my team are my brothers at a LAN party, but
I
the
got
other
into a-
team
I
are
got into a
shit.
physical brawl with Brinks for I don't even remember why, but we started just wrestling in a trailer when we were doing like we were
That
all in that
sounds a
trailer.
little redneck.
No,
I'm just wrestling in the trailer, you know, and then we started making
So-
out, and you know how it go.
So fucktard
It's a true
Brinks
true.
had a party in a trailer, and he and well, they had a trailer behind their house, and he
Yeah,
just-
they had a really nice house, and for some reason they're like, you know what we could use? A trailer. So they've got a trailer back there, and they just heated it, and then we used it for a LAN party, and I thought that was great.
Sounds really
But-
white trash.
so-
I'm just saying.
It does. But and he's like, he was hoping to have this big party, and then he invited all of us, and it just turned into a LAN party. And it was awesome because we played multiplayer Crackdown, we played Halo. I enjoyed the fuck out of that.
Those are my favorite. I hope that's what my bachelor party is.
It's a LAN party.
Yeah, I just honestly hope that there's like I get to wrestle somebody, there's a LAN party, and AJ's gonna get naked. That's not a hope of mine. That's just a fact. Draven fact. At my bachelor party, AJ will get naked.
It's already been predetermined. All right. Well, we talked about Halo 4. We talked about Cloud Atlas.
And we talked about Cloud Atlas
And we talked about Cloud Atlas.
and the Matrix and Cloud Atlas.
And pancakes.
Pancakes. But we've talked for almost an hour and a half now.
I'm pretty sure the title of this is "That's the True True," so that's going in there. That's good. That's already settled.
Good call, Jordan. That is the time.
So for TGA, this is Jordan,
And I'm glad.
This
glad
is
to
Bruce,
Point out that
and I'm
we
Derrick.
didn't have to do any fucking editing to this because we didn't have any of those moments. So it's just gonna be going through and doing levels.
I like cake.
Just
The cake is a lie. Can we cut this part out?
No.
Fuck you, Jordan. This is Bruce.
And as always, this is Derrick Draven giving you sex voice for no reason.
And this
And
is
this is
Jordan
Bruce.
having sex
And this
with
is
Derrick.
Bruce. And this is Bruce.
That's the true true.
And this is Derrick. Why are we continuing this?
I was just trying to get a good one in because I looked over and I saw that I was overmodulating horribly.
So
Okay.
we're gonna cut the original round out then. Do we get to go again?
Okay, yeah, fine. We'll do it again. So this is Bruce.
This is Derrick Draven.
And this is Jordan.
Fuck, I did it again. All right, so this has been Bruce.
This is the rogue wizard Derrick Draven.
And this has been Jordan.
Fuck y'all.
Just adding in more stuff. And I like that we've got the video, so like that won't get it out.
I forgot about the video the whole time, didn't you?